collective reading time. Let me tell you, as soon as I sat down to do this, I started to get so irritated. Like, so this is the collective's energy. We're going to get what you're focusing on to make sure that this is really going to be your reading, like for details. But like, as soon as I sat down, I was just so uncomfortable in my skin. I was like, do I need to change? Do I need water? Do I need to lay down? So I think that's, again, the collective's energy, because I was mostly fine before that. Like, my shoulder's killing me, my neck's killing me. You could have some like really achy pains going on in your body right now. And I feel really dehydrated, even though I've drank a ton of water already. So some identifiers before we even get any cards. And I want to get these. Okay, so let's just see, Source, what this collective is focusing on in their life right now. That's good. Whoa! I mean, that's actually really good. But you've got Hierophant in reverse, 5 of coins in reverse, 8 of swords in reverse, 7 of coins. So right away, I think you're just focusing on path, like work, resources, finances, with the 2 coins here. And I think you're releasing a lot of limiting beliefs when it comes to your life path. Hierophant in reverse, it's not bad. It's doing things in an unconventional way, thinking outside the box, walking to the beat of your own drum. Pick whatever saying you want. That's what that was your first card out. So that's, if this is not what you're focusing on, just make sure you have discernment. But Hierophant in reverse can also, though, be like really different life choices that society deems as, risky or avant-garde. And sometimes it has to do with gender presentation and sexual orientation and like cultural belief, blah, 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 blah. It's just literally, thinking for yourself. And in that, it does cause hardship and trouble. And anybody who has not tried to conform to the, society which they live in, they know that it's a difficult path to walk. But again, you're thinking about it in a way that it's like, this is going to actually get me out of the storm. 5 of coins in reverse, that's about moving on from like pretty severe hardship. So money issues, bankruptcies, divorces, feeling left out in the cold is really the energy of that. And you're like, you know what? I was left out in the cold when I was conforming, and it doesn't really matter. Do you get what I'm saying? It's more of a feeling than anything, which is why I think I'm having a hard time describing it, because I think you're just like, fuck it, for what it's worth. And you're releasing the limiting beliefs that I think kept you in a box. These two together, I love. I love that 5 of coins is in the middle too. I never want to see that upright, because the 5s in tarot are really rough, but specifically that one. I think for a long time you felt like you were very worried about who you were and the decisions you were making, because you were comparing to other people in a way that you weren't totally seeing. 8 of swords upright is all about not seeing through the facade. This is a very non-traditional depiction, but in traditional tarot, this figure is literally like bound very loosely, and she's got this blindfold on, and there's swords all around her, but they're not actually in the body. They're kind of just pinning her clothes down, if that. And the message is that you can walk away at any time, but you can't see that you can walk away, because in order to do that, it would require like the effort that your mind and your body doesn't think that you have in you to take. You are realizing that the only thing that keeps you in a box is you, and that box wasn't comfortable to begin with. 7 of coins, though, I do think you're getting a little bit frustrated with how I started this message, with things that have not germinated, things that feel stuck, things that feel like they just are not coming to fruition. You could be getting really bored with some of the ideas that maybe, months or even years ago, when you started down this new way of thinking, made you excited and gave you energy and uplifted, but now you're just like, I am not seeing the fruits of my labor. Again, that's where the frustration is coming from, that I was feeling when I sat down. So let's get one more for that. 7 of coins. 5. So 555. You could be seeing a lot of 5s, but right now, just from the universe, like that, maybe that's one of your signs, or if you just noticed it. Like I was seeing a license plate when that 5 came out, but 5 of wands in reverse, that's about like restoring harmony and finding common ground. And so this is what you are feeling is stuck. You are feeling like you have been a team player and other people haven't. When it's upright, that's all about like a bunch of people arguing, like too many monkeys in the circus, too many cooks in the kitchen, and nobody is listening to anybody else or even stopping to consider that their point of view is not the only one that matters. It's a lose-lose situation when it's upright. It can literally cause chaos. Like it can be about actual fights and destructions, and like especially in close-knit circles like families and close friends and stuff like that. But with it being under 7 of coins, I think for a long time you were telling yourself, and I'm hearing this, that if you just started being who you truly were or were meant to always be, and you stopped listening to other people and you removed the 5 of Wands upright from your life, and you walked to the beat of your own drum, and you were true to your morals, and you started following the path, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, that you were always meant to follow, then it would result in this idea you had in your head, and it has not in the way that you envisioned it or set out to create. That's just what I'm feeling. Oh, I didn't notice that there was a card underneath this 8 of Swords, and technically, that 8 of Swords is in reverse, which means the Tower was underneath it, upright. So that's the limiting belief that you've been having. It really falls in line with what I've been saying, is that you've had in your mind this idea that if you don't do X, Y, and Z, your entire life is going to crumble down. And now you're seeing that that's not true. And I'm hearing it's probably because you've had Tower moments in the past when you were not doing what you wanted and being who you wanted to be. So what does it matter anyways? If shit's going to hit the fan, you might as well, do what you want in the meantime. But I'm not going to lie, seeing that underneath that card, I think it's more also too that you're always anticipating maybe things like shit hitting the fan, which could be why the 7 of Coins in reverse is really rubbing you the wrong way, because you're feeling like if you had more stability, you could weather your towers before they come. But the ultimate goal of, in my opinion, of any sort of healing or progression or evolution of the soul is to see your tower coming off in the distance and to make the choices and decisions that you need to make so that it never actually happens. Because a tower traditionally is about a structure that does not have the load-bearing support it needs, metaphorically and physically, to create a firm foundation. So it's like being at a job that it's a dead end, being with a partner that you don't align with, like, having friends that don't fulfill your, soul tribe community sort of desires, family that's always holding you down. It's those things where it's like they're structural in our life, but that they're not going to last for a very long time. That's why a tower is inevitable. If you can see it off in the distance, it would mean quitting that job, leaving that person, finding new friends, putting boundaries up with your family, whatever it is. It's interesting energy, because I feel like you're a very rational person, but there's an anticipation and an expectation here that hasn't been met, and it's chopping your ass, and I can feel it. Like I'm irritated. And that's your energy. I'm hearing that. How long is this going to take? And especially when we start focusing on time, that's really when it starts to slow down. And I think this collective knows it. I want to see what you've been doing unconventionally with this Hierophant in reverse. Temperance in reverse with Justice upright. So perfectly confirms it. You've been finding all the different areas in your life that are out of balance and not in alignment and make you feel fearful and, worrisome. Temperance in reverse, that's kind of a hard one, because it's really feeling like we have a lack of faith in all areas of our life. Again, really confirms this whole collective's like energy, but Justice over the top. So you've just been like, that's mind centered. That's our karmic debris, our purple curtain. Libra energy. It's finding balance, but it's coming from an intellectual place. So I think you have actually put boundaries up and, realigned with the right people and in the right path, but something's not landing for you here. And so we're going to have to just figure out why. I would hate for this to be a message for this collective specifically of just like, let time, go and let destiny unfold. Because I don't think that you're going to be receptive to that, but there's got to be something here, especially Justice, like Hierophant, Temperance, Justice. That's a big row of major arcana for your first row of the influences of your life. I see major arcana as gods. So it is energy that we embody, but it's energy that affects all areas of our life. Big transformative energy that once the ball starts rolling, it's kind of there for the long haul. I also think I'm hearing this too, and this would be really hard. I think you're the type of person that always does what you believe to be right and moral. And while that can change depending on the type of person that you are, I actually do believe that you're quite fair, and that you are capable of removing yourself from situations to see things out of the box. I'm hearing that it's when you can hold two realities in your mind and see a situation from both sides without taking a stance, because you can remove your emotional, what is that called? It's like a specific way of thinking. It's like not dichotomic thinking or something, but it's like I was reading about it not that long ago, but it's like where you really can be like, well, I really believe this, but I can see how this would also be true, and then you don't let it affect you. I think you're that kind of person, which is again why you're feeling like, 2 plus 2 is not equaling 4 right now. So the 7 of coins is going to be the most important card. I can already feel it. 5 of swords on the bottom. 555. What did I say? But that's all about winning, and at what cost. It's a loss, but it comes from, oh, anyways, it didn't come out. I think there's been, I'm seeing another card, another 5 of swords in another deck where he's holding a knife behind his back, but like flowers to someone's face. It's just, shifty and shitty energy. I think you've lived through a lot of that. But what I was kind of saying before, just the last part on how you're seeing your world, because I think it's important. I think you've been fair to a fault. I think you've given people leeway and room. It's not like they necessarily didn't deserve it, but it was at, you know, kind of the expense of what you wanted or you needed in a people pleasing kind of way. Um, if this is really for you, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Where it's like you just want to do what's right, but what's quote unquote right, sometimes it hurts you more in the short term than the long term, and then it doesn't actually end up being what's right. You were just trying to satisfy everybody. Kind of 5 of wands upright. Anyways, you'll know exactly what I'm saying. Okay, I want to see what's actually around this collective right now, because again, how you're seeing your world, we get it. I just want to see what's being activated in your contract, because I did a pre-reading poll, and I did 3, and two of the cards that came up was don't overwork yourself, like having an emotional ignition, and something about your intuition. So let's just see, source, what is being activated in this beautiful collective's contract right now. So feminine energy, you could identify more as feminine. It's being activated. One more. Let's see. The 5, the grasshopper, leap of faith, sudden change, easygoing. 2 cards about transformation and something new. Okay. Oh, every time this card comes out in the past like 2 weeks has really just thrown me for a loop. We'll get into it, but you got feminine energy, the stork, the boomerang, grasshopper, bouquet, and the winding road. I'm not sure what order these came out in, but again, these 2 sticking out to me a lot because they're really just about a lightness of being from transformation. It's about letting go of expectations and letting go of, not our standards, but it's hard to describe. It's like where you know what you want and what you need, but you're willing to just continue walking through your path without holding onto it to such the degree that you actually push it away, which is what I believe actually happens. Imagine like holding on to like a rubber band, and on the end of that rubber band is whatever you want. The longer you actually hold on to that frequency, the longer it like just stretches and stretches and stretches time out between you and what you want. If you let go, it can let that energy ricochet, and it can actually start coming towards you. It's kind of a hard visualization, but that's just always what I see. It's like those glowing threads, those manifestations, whatever's on the end of your red thread, people aside, like it's just understanding that you will get what you want and what you need, and you will be a part of those decisions. And also, you can't predict the future, right? If you're a very psychically in tuned person, even if you're not a practitioner, it's hard. And trust me, I understand this. It's hard to see our destinies, but not our timeline or when it's going to happen, because it makes us feel one, insane when those things don't come to fruition in exactly the way we thought they would or when we think they should. But also, like, we actually can't, in my opinion, see those fine point details the way that we do when they're actually in our mind. Do you know what I mean? These two cards, feminine energy, that's all about surrendering and allowing the river to flow, and passivity. Because in between this leap of faith and transformation, feeling restless through a renewal, some sort of renovation of the soul and a sudden change in direction, but not worrying and not giving up and moving on with prosperity and saying, so what? You've got the boomerang, which is the recovery of something coming back around. Money, friendship, relationships, enthusiasm. Again, it really confirms with how you're seeing your world. I think you are seeing it correctly, because this is what's actually around you, is that when you let go of things that aren't meant for you, you will get what you deserve in return. Boomerang here to really confirm it. But then we've got the bouquet. And I personally see this card when it comes out more than anything as a card of some sort of reconciliation and mend. Either that's in a situation writ large or that's with another person. Usually it's a romantic situation, because I see it as like the bouquet of flowers that someone gives you when they say they're sorry. Like, that's what I always see when it comes out. So it would also make sense too, I'm hearing, if you are maybe not a type A, but like type B plus personality, where it's like you get your shit together, you're ride or die, you're grinding, like everything else in your life falls into place except for that one area of your life. But it would be too, because and I'm not saying that people that have romantic love right now in their life don't have standards, but for some people, especially when you want your life to be a certain way, dating and being in a relationship is not just a part of the experience. It's like an intentional practice for some people. Do you know what I mean? For this collective, I think it is. Like, I don't think that you go on dates for fun, or you think about relationships as just this fun, light-hearted experience. I think you're either like a till death do we part, or a hermit in the woods kind of person, which, again, there's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with the alternative. But if you are the previous version of person, then there's a lot of conflict in between those two states of being, because you keep people at an arm's length because it's not serious or intentional enough for you. And at the same time, you miss out on opportunities that could just be fun. Like, that could just be, and I'm not saying like in a physical relationship. I mean, just getting out, meeting people, opening up your heart energy, stuff like that. Whereas, again, I don't think this collective is the other version. But in the other version, we have the opposite of those problems, which I don't think I need to get into. So smack dab right in the middle here of this renewal energy, you've got the recovery of so many things. And then, of course, you've got this happy, harmonious creativity that's truly within your soul, with some sort of reconciliation. And then you've got taking the long way. I think this collective, and this would be an important detail, because this is kind of the type of people that I call in for readings, but you've been on soul transformation journey for years. It takes a long time to adjust your life in the way I have said that this collective has adjusted their life. Because you can't just sometimes in one foul swoop, your whole life can change. And I understand that personally, but for that long way card to be here, it's a type of self-discovery where you have to be flexible. You have to learn patience. So before this, you wouldn't have been a very patient person. Your life path was designed to create that patience within you, because not everything can be 0 to 100. And I think you know that now, even though you want things to be. That you need to use tact and explore why things trigger you, why things bother you, why things are not in alignment. Sometimes it's completely out of your control. And that creates the personal growth at a leisurely place that makes room for adventure. Sometimes, and I have to tell myself this as well, sometimes when we constantly are expecting everything to be an adventure, we don't leave any space for the actual adventures, the real surprises, the moments in our life where we go, I had no idea that this was going to happen, and I'm so glad it did. We're always forcing that sort of synthetic joy. I'm not going to lie, because of how irritated this collective's energy is, I don't even want to get another card for that. And I know that that's your energy, Because I think you're at this point where you're like, if that was going to be something that was going to happen, it would have already happened. But again, this is what the universe is seeing is around you, not what you actually think. So let's just grit our teeth and let's just get another one for that bouquet card. Whoa! Ooh. This is about the milk. This is the internet card. This is about networking, marketing, expanding, but social media and publicity. Maybe I want one more because I'm hearing a few things with that. Oh, balance. I don't know what that's really stumping me. If it's part of your contract to be creative in a public sphere and be in the spotlight, I think Source is saying that whatever that reconciliation energy is that's within you, you're actually channeling it into that creative outlook, which is really great. But I'm also hearing this if you're expecting some sort of communication through, well, I guess all of our phones are connected to the internet, but like through like a comment or it's weird. Like I feel like this collective is like really expecting something very specific for that to come out. Either way, things are going to be just right because balance is over it. So I'm hearing temper your expectations and have awareness. You're clearly exactly where you're supposed to be. It's just on the long road. And there's always a reason that I say anything in a reading or anything comes to my mind. It's because it's going to have some sort of relevance. And I think because I've been going into so much detail about every single little thing, there's something here about this bouquet energy that you're really holding on to the HD version of that vision. And I think they're saying here, you need to find balance in your expectations and reality, right? It's that moon card, the balance, practicality, and spirituality. Not to say nothing's going to happen. This is literally in your contract. So I think you're on the money, but let's get one more for this boomerang energy. Woo, woo. Oh, so you got the waterfall over it. That's really nice. So chasing after something, but an emotional release and letting go of the things that have not come back to you. This is what they're trying to teach you right now, is that whatever is meant for you is not going to pass you by. It's got boomerang energy around it. So all of the expectations you're having are really just that right now. You have everything you need. That there's a fulfillment that comes with release, but it's once you realize that the boomerang energy is here. It's a hard lesson to learn. And it's not like, I feel the need to say this. People really have a hard time understanding what just discerning what surrender is, because it's kind of hard to put your finger on it if you've never experienced like long-term surrender or detachment from an idea, because it's not totally just not giving a shit. That's like a cold closing off of that energy and that frequency. It's more of when it comes over you, it just washing over you and then leaving you kind of without a trace. So, if it's a job you really want, you acknowledge the feeling and then you let it pass through you. The way that emotions are supposed to pass through our bodies is like we feel it and then it's gone. It's the pressure relief valve. With detachment, it's a little bit more severe because it doesn't come over your mind and your body as often, but it's just not the constant train of thought of you thinking about it and wanting it and craving it and pining and yearning and needing. So if it's something or someone that comes across your mind every time there's a lull or a stillness, that's how you know you're not in detachment. And if you try to force it, it makes it worse. You just have to, there's so many different ways to find detachment, but one of the things that helps is literally distracting yourself. If you seriously cannot stop thinking about something else, that's because you're not busy enough. You're not being creative enough. You're not making enough. Like, and I'm not talking about money, but like you have to channel that energy. Think about it as like literally the fuel of a candle. That wax is going to burn at some point eventually. But if you're constantly torching it, it's just going to literally get hotter and hotter and hotter until the whole thing lights on fire. You got to just, walk by, douse it out. It's going to light again, walk by, douse it out, for a collective, that'll make sense. This is really stumping me. This is specifically this Milky Way card. Hold on. Let's ask Source, like, what's actually around you with tarot. No, I don't even know which one I want. Let's do this one. Okay. Source, what's actually around this collective right now, but like specifically that row. Oh, oh, I don't like that. It's odd. You've got Emperor upright, the Devil in reverse, and then Eight of Wands in reverse. So like these two are yucky, right? It's a physical, emotional abuse, negative karmic connections, toxic energetic implants, and codependency that has created a loss of momentum and energy block, things being on hold, delays, stalls, and things taking time to align. So you could really be feeling like whatever this energy is, it was someone who presents. But again, if I'm asking the universe what this actually is, let's get one more for that. Oh, Three of Cups. That can literally be a card about reunion. But let's take it to you first, because clearly we all have yin and yang energy within us. And so yang energy, divine masculine energy, is all about being action oriented, right? Getting things done, coming from a more intellectual place instead of a more heart-centered place, having authority, being protective, like being powerful in your stability. He rules over an empire. He rules over all the kingdoms of the other kings combined. Cups, swords, wands, and coins. So he has this stability about him that is very rational and safe feeling. I'm hearing that if they're saying what's actually around you, outside of this energy, you're presenting very solid in your yang energy, and that you need to actually see that more. You actually need to celebrate the type of achievements that you're sitting in while you work on your feminine energy, because one will help the other. If you can actually recognize how far you've gone in this contract so far, it will create more collaborative, good times, social gathering. Like I'm hearing like let loose. But again, it's also Three of Cups is also a card about reunion, and especially with this Milky Way card. What's this Devil in reverse? What's actually around this collective? Oh God, Two of Swords upright. Something that you can't see. Something that makes you frozen with indecision or confusion and doubt. Something that makes you feel like there's some sort of stalemate here. And whatever the stalemate has clearly been, you're maybe now leaning towards more of the energy of that it's toxic. But again, universe's perspective, there's some sort of avoidance here, and it's coming from some sort of karmic energy. Eight of Wands. Sun in reverse. And that is what you're doing. You are trying to be, even if it's rattling you a bit, right? The things that have not landed. I do think you are trying to find internal optimism. But sometimes the Sun in reverse can also be like putting on that mask of being happy on the external, while internally you're a little bit thinking about the time. So I think it aligns either way. What's actually around you. This worries me, because this is feeling like a few people. This is feeling like some sort of situation that's got some sort of energetic interference in it, and you can't see it. So you would feel it, but you wouldn't know why things haven't aligned, why things have been on this winding road. Let's get one more for that. Which has created more self-discovery. So you've benefited either way, but emotionally, oh, perfect. Oh, perfectly confirms it. So you got the mountains, the obstacles, the distance, the problems, which has created solitude and always been a block, has been cold and indifferent. These two, perfectly aligns. They're really confirming each other, that barriers and interruptions and delays have caused this long winding road. Because again, I'm not, oh, and I didn't even know, oh my God, I didn't even notice that there was like a bunch of cards also out, but you would obviously also have created some sort of delays with your impatience and holding on to that frequency. But with this Devil in reverse, what we project out is what we call in. So the way that you would have created blocks and obstacles in this path, and you would have known it, is by holding on to the expectation of some sort of reunion, harmony, whatever, with your codependency. But outside of that, because you can't see all of the blocks that are here, there's been other shit on the other end of whatever this is that has literally created an indifference to the journey that you have been on. So either way, you've got the elephant over it, and that's about keeping your wits about you, being powerful and wise. And this was probably another lesson that you would have to have learned, is that when obstacles arise, easily remove them. Um, and trust in the fact that you are supported and, very telepathic and very connected to source. So I love that for you. I want to know what this is. This is getting messy, but that's fine. Source, what is this situation? What is that situation? Um, One more. I need to get another one of these decks. They just don't make them to last. They're getting all fluffy and hard to shuffle. Oh, of course it is. Well, I mean, and that makes sense. Some sort of soul bond, because you got the Celtic knot, some sort of legendary eternal love, love of a lifetime, some sort of deep soul connection. I'm glad it's not the twin flame card. I'm glad, no offense to twin flames, but I'm just glad it's not that, because those readings are always like, anyways. Either way, this energy, the thing that's been blocked, the energetic implants, it's some sort of deep soul bond with this collective. And I think you would have already known that and picked up on that. And I was kind of already picking up on it too. I just didn't want to speak too soon. Something that you've been rising above and seeing a higher perspective for a really long time, with your third eye, having a far-reaching vision. I think it's really ignited your ability as well as a psychic or a medium or a high priestess or a queen of wands, a medium. Did I already say that? I think I did. But then you've got the public venues card, and that's about. So you've got 3 cards about like the public and venues and being out with other people, some sort of collaboration, some sort of meeting. This can also be about a date, but community. Why do I'm seeing that the oh, and look at what this is on the bottom of this deck, the sunglasses. I was seeing the watching card. Maybe they're watching you right now. But there's a lot of shit going on in the background. We'll break it down. This might be a long one, because I'm losing the energy the more I start to tap into whatever this connection is. So I think there's just a lack of energy right now behind it, which is why you're seeing such stale, distant, sort of detached energy from whatever it is. I'm hearing silence. It could literally be a situation that you haven't engaged in months or years, even, that's still playing on your mind. And you're like, why the fuck am I thinking about this? But it's some sort of Celtic knot energy. I want just one more for that one, and then we'll get what's actually around you with that purple deck and see if that watching comes out. One more for this Celtic knot. Oh, well, you've got safe passage over it. And if you really are some sort of divine, it would be 100% protective. And if there's someone fucking with that energy, like in that frequency, oh, good luck, because that's like the worst karma, one of the worst karmas that you can have. Because any sort of divine spiritual being that's gone through some sort of activation, in my belief, is here for some sort of life path purpose, some sort of mission work. And when anybody interferes in that, oh God, do they literally stack up that karmic debris that it takes them lifetimes to pay off. But either way, you're on the right direction. This, whatever's going on with this Celtic knot energy in your energy, just rest assured that it's got complete protection over it with the lighthouse. It's secure. You're going to be gaining clarity, navigating obstacles through it, but either way, you're going in the right direction. There's illumination imminent. Oh, sunrise at the bottom, brand new beginning. Not yet though, it didn't come out. Okay, let's see. I want to get one of those purple cards. Because I feel like, especially if it just has not left your mind, sometimes there's a really big difference. And this is why labels can be dangerous, because there's kind of a really big difference between rumination and getting stuck in a thought pattern, sometimes for years, and the divine sort of soul connections. Because even if it's not some sort of, fifth dimensional bond, you can think about someone for your entire life and never see them again. and it doesn't matter what the label is. Do you get what I'm saying? But like, I also do find that, especially if it's been a long time and people or situations keep coming over you in waves, it's because that cycle either hasn't been completed out and there's going to be a re-entry of energy to close that karmic lesson cycle, whatever, out, or it's because, two people or however many people are actively pulling on each other energetically. Does that make sense? I think if this is your reading, it'll make sense because it could be either or. And I think that's where you go back and forth in your mind about. Because you're like, am I losing it? Or is this like a genuine, well, I mean, you got the Celtic knot. So either way, it doesn't matter. I just want to see what's around this collective right now. Love spell. You do. That's the thing, is you feel bewitched by this energy, but it's actually around you for a reason. You could actually identify as a witch or a practitioner, someone who does spell work, but this card says you've been bewitched. And I think I'm feeling like it's something else. It's like the thing you're connected to that's doing the energy work on you. That's this bingo. Sorry, I get so excited. This is the exact card I was saying. Confirms it. I knew it. Oh, that little munchkin. This is why I say all the time, and I know this from personal experience, it's not just my opinion. When you are thinking about constantly someone and you are a spiritual person, you're an activated person, like you're on some sort of divine mission, you are literally pulling on them. Imagine a rope around their waist, and every time you think about them, you're pulling them. And it's not like it's moving them, but they can feel it in their soul, especially if someone's looking at pictures, which is what I think this person's doing, like maybe checking your profile, watching you, because you got the, why can't I think of what, I can see it, the networking card. Oh, I knew it. Two more. One more. And there's other people involved. And cycles. So someone would have already come to your mind probably right away as soon as that Celtic knot energy came out or the reconciliation energy came out. But with that devil in reverse, you would know or have deeply strong intuitions that that person has negative karmic influence in their life. And I just have to say this because karmic doesn't mean toxic by default. Karmic is just a lesson. We've all been karmic people to other people in our life. And those lessons don't inherently mean that the lesson itself that's going to be learned is detrimental. Like, that's what I mean by not toxic. Like, I am a karmic connection for so many people in my life, and we learn beautiful lessons from each other and vice versa. So just keep that in mind. But what this collective's whatever they're connected to, I think it's a single person. So let's just go with that. Whoever this person is that it's been on your mind, not only are they looking in, but there's other people attached to them. And I think you would know that, or have, again, strong intuitions about that. And you've had cycles with this person. So you guys have gotten together, broken up, gotten back together, broken up, gotten back together, broken up, which is probably why you've been anticipating some sort of return of energy, because that's your pattern. And since it hasn't happened, you're like, what's going on, right? But again, there's right in the middle of your guys' patterns, cycles, there's somebody else's energy. And it could be anything from a love interest to a nosy coworker. Like, it doesn't just have to be love. Let's get one more for that, though. Who this someone else is? An earth sign. I don't know if you would know that, but you could. You could very well know that. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They could have, that could be their sun sign, or they would absolutely have it in their big three. Don't be going to look up their chart if you do know who that person is. Because again, it's a kind of energy work. You just don't want to bring if you guys are doing it to each other, it's a cycle that literally can last for years. You just don't want to be doing it. All right, let's get one more for each. What's the love spell? Moving. Change of residence. I'm not hearing or seeing anything with that, which is odd. One more. Or you could just be doing magic in your house. Patience. A few more months, good things come to those who wait. So maybe you've been doing magic more of lately, like in your home or about your home. I find that anytime we take care of our space, it is kind of beauty magic for our cage, right? And so that's not a bad thing. I just keep hearing enchanted. You could be really like turning your space into a place that feels very enchanted. Or I'm hearing this too, your house numbers. if you bring them all into a single digit by like adding them in together, you can get the number that you live in and then look at that astrologically. You could really, like, you could have just found out, like, oh, I live in a, whatever number I live in is that energy is all about collaboration. It's all about love, or you know what I mean? It came to my mind, which is maybe one of the ways you're grasping at straws and telling yourself, like, oh, it's fine. The energy is all around me. I don't know, that row is kind of, I think all of the details that I already said would be important for the right people, but what's this spy? Oh, making room for the new beginning that's on its way, but something is metamorphosing right now around you with this spy energy. That feels like a lesson. I'm not gonna lie. What's this cycles? Whoa, 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 whoa. Get over here. Ooh, yeah. So the cycles through the endings. Every time there's a breakup, there's a beginning, which is kind of the natural progression of things, but usually it's not with the same person, right? Maybe too, if this earth sign is another partner, there's some sort of ending happening in that. I want one more. Actually, let's just get one more for this row, and then we'll get what's around you with those other black cards. Distance. So that's what's created the distance, because you got that mountain card. This is the toxic third party, whatever situation that was in that bottom row. Watch the whole thing. It's not going to make any sense. And I think they have literally put distance in here in this dynamic, maybe without you even knowing. So maybe they wanted to move and your person moved with them. Maybe they were already at a distance and your person moved to be with them, because you've also got, again, that change of residence. I was feeling that was more you, but either way, distance is important, because obviously you guys are emotionally distant, but whoever that karmic connection is has created distance in this dynamic, whether you know it or not. That's too bad. But again, I mean, if you're in a divine connection, most things are going to happen for a reason for you guys. It's because you guys are too igniting. You can't even be in the same tri-state area as each other. So Source will put space between you guys because it's too igniting, right? Two neutrons colliding. Like, okay, so what is around this dynamic right now? Source, what is actually around this dynamic? Oh, that's the Phoenix. That's good. Passion, intense chemistry, liking each other equally and having fun. And the Phoenix, a new phase. You did get that cycles card and 2 cards about new beginnings. Oh, God. Oh. Okay, I'm going to get that in a minute. It'll be very important. And the sailing boat, what's this? Oh, no, stabbed in the back. That could be that breakup. We'll break it all the way down with tarot and see what's actually going on in this person's life with that third party energy and see who they are. I mean, not that it's really that relevant, but see what's going on, what their intention is towards you. But either way, you've got the sailing boat with this. I don't like this, obviously, the stabbed in the back. Some sort of, maybe that's, I'm hearing what they're going through right now in their life. Because you're just chugging along. This is not something that's fresh. Maybe some of the feelings are coming over you in waves, but again, it's because they're watching you. Oh, one more for this Phoenix. That says changed mind. If I'm honest, I think that would piss this collective off if someone said that to you. Talking! As I was saying, if someone said it to you and then the talking card came out. Ooh, I don't know. Interesting, conversing more, awaiting for a message to arrive, text, calling, email, hovering. I don't think you're hovering. I'm going to be honest. I think that has been you in the past. Maybe you are a little bit, like every time you open your phone, you get a little bit of a, but I don't think it's to the point where you're like refreshing the page and restarting the phone and like constantly checking it, making sure your ringer's on loud. Like, I don't think you're at that point anymore. But the new phase is coming through some sort of wanting to speak about it. That's not bad. That's actually really good. What's this stabbed in the back though? So that, oh my God. And that would drive you insane. And it would anybody, if you could feel someone's energy and it's constantly behind this hand of cards, you can't see whatever's going on right now with that 2 of Swords and that devil in reverse, but there's a reason. You're not supposed to be able to see it. There's supposed to be distance. It's supposed, like, everything is supposed to happen in your contract for that specific reason, but you're not supposed to see the backstab and the betrayal. I'm on the fence though of whether this is you or if this is what's going on energetically around you. Not showing your hand, being strategic through some sort of heartbreak, some sort of pain. I'm hearing this too. If this person really knows you that well, they may know that them reaching out to you after a breakup would truly piss you the fuck off. And so they don't want to present that way. We'll have to get their emotion. I want one more for that. Oh, camera, especially if it happened in the past. So that confirms what I was about to say before that card came out. In the past, this person, when you guys would have your cycles, you would probably be more on your own because of what I said at the very beginning, watch the whole reading, where you are a ride or die or in the woods by yourself kind of person. But I don't think this person probably was the opposite, which would have been another trigger point for you guys in a relationship. But regardless, I think this person's in their mind right now. Well, I know they are. Right now, the reason they've been holding their cards back is because when there had been chaos in their life, they always beelined you. And I think they're realizing how bad that was. And you should never accept that behavior because you're constantly telling someone that it's okay for them to run from their responsibilities, their relationships, their emotions, and their processing of their own life and their, the whatever they're reaping from whatever they sowed, and you are the safe place, you are the haven, and it just makes you feel used over time. You should never accept that behavior. And if you're calling in people who do that, then you need to be self-aware on how and where you do that in your own life, because it wouldn't have been an unfamiliar feeling for you of only reaching out to friends when you're in turmoil, only asking for help when you're in the most dire of situations, like stuff like that. I think this person does want to learn from the past because this is reminiscing, keepsake, making memories. But I also am hearing too, it could be one of the things that's really holding them back and has for a long time, the type of destruction that was in your guys' cycles. All right, so what's on the sailing boat right now? It's kind of like the Chariot in this deck. Ooh. I don't like that. Hold on. What's that? Cassette. Oh, God. This is going to be a 50-50. And this is reminding me so much of the theme from last week. You've got the love call here. It's on the sailing boat. It is going to happen. You didn't get any sort of communication cards in this deck, but it doesn't matter because these cards are saying it's happening. When? Doesn't matter. Everything's going to be coming down to perfect timing right now. But when this message comes in, you're going to need to stop the pattern, which means, again, and I said it a minute ago, this could either be a test to see if you can really hold firm to your boundaries because you guys have had cycles. If you're really some sort of divine connection, you have to break that cycle if you want a new one to start. They don't just magically start out of thin air. This Axe card is about stopping the pattern, this from the silent treatment and the abandonment. But when it came out, I was also seeing that Hammer card, which is about self-sabotage. You can rebuild or you can, and it really also does confirm that from some sort of breakup and separation, there's a sailing boat with a love call on it. Ooh, twin flame at the bottom. Not even going to get another one. Don't even want to chance it. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being in twin flame, but it's just the labels. And for the past 2 weeks, it's been driving me nuts. I said there was a wave coming in, and it's been coming in. I don't get, union collectives. I get the ones like right before the wave, and the wave has, I think it's already hit. And now we're seeing, I've gotten like 4 where I'm like, ooh, you guys are right about to have either a break in a cycle or a brand new one. So, all right, let's just see. Person you're connected to. Let's get what's actually going on in their life right now. Yeah, let's do these. All right, so what's actually going on in this person's life right now? Person that's connected to collective. What's going on in their life? Oh, my ear just started ringing and it got really hot. Oh, wow, that was really intense. It wasn't even like a pinched nerve or anything. It just went beep and it got so hot on the side of my face. That's definitely a sign, obviously. Oh God. That's not good. Let's just see what's going on. Devil in reverse again. It really is in their life, and we know that, but oh God, Sun upright, Eight of Cups in reverse, Devil in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse. What's really going on in their life? That's not good, because that Eight of Cups is really what's worrying me the most, especially next to a sun, especially next to a card about the ultimate in positivity and seeing the silver lining and like being, carefree and having fun. Happiest card in the deck. Next to a card about staying for the wrong reason. Sorry, I'm not laughing, but like that's not good. Staying for the wrong reasons with energetic influences because of a blocked state of mind, blocked, confusion and or blocked communication and confusion, Ace of Swords in reverse. Oh God, that's not good. I can't imagine how you would have a love call with this. Oh God. It's a test. It's a test, guys, and I hate to break the news to you, but if this person ends up going through or is absolutely going through some sort of turmoil and they're staying for the wrong reasons and they beeline you for comfort because that's what they always fucking do, they are not seeing things correctly. They think they are. They think they're sitting in divine masculine energy and seeing things for the way that they really are, but it's just a mask. It's just a mask. And it's going to pull on your heartstrings, but break the layer, the passion, the chemistry, the romance. Oh God, we'll just keep going. This is what's actually going on in their life. It's not good. Let's see if we get saved. What's this Eight of Cups? I can't. Oh God, Five of Wands in reverse. You got that too. You guys are mirroring an energy. I wonder if this is, I don't even want to jinx it, but that is compromise. Again, that is finding harmony and resolution and solutions that were a no-win. I can't imagine. Oh God. Okay, Devil in reverse. Eight of Pentacles. Could be someone that this person works with, whoever that toxic energetic implant is, but that is literally becoming a master of the craft, but it's something they've been working really, really hard to ground in their life, something they've really dedicated to, something they've really committed to, but it's actually a negative karmic connection. That's not good because they're either so self-unaware of their patterns and their behavior and why their life can have turmoil in it, or they know with that mask and they are too unwilling to make the change. And so they just pretend like everything is fine while deep down their soul is rotting. That is not good. Oh God, that is not good. Which means that they still have that veil of delusion and running on, and you would still have that chaser, like, I don't think it's on like it would have been in the very beginning, but this is not good for you, or for them. With that love call, lovers, or Two of Cups in reverse on the bottom. Yeah, this has got codependency written all over it, and it smells of desperation. No offense to this person, but especially as like fully formed adults, because I don't think you guys are like in your early 20s. This is a slightly more acceptable behavior when you don't have the life experience that you need to make the decisions. And like, you can't put years into someone, sometimes it just takes a lot of fucking up to figure out what you actually want and need, and working on yourself. That takes time. But both of you guys have been walking down whatever sort of healing journey. I'm not sure this person has. That's a thing. Like, it's delusional to just pretend that everything is fine while you know otherwise. And I understand it comes from trauma, and I understand it comes from people wanting to think the best of their situation, but it's so naive and it's so immature. Because let's take you out of it. Whoever this person is deserves to have fulfilling relationships and have things that actually work and not stay in situations for the wrong reason. But whoever they're connected to also deserves that. Even if they are a karmic connection, everybody deserves to find their person, and you're not going to find it. You're not going to find it if you hold on to the wrong person for too long. Do you get what I'm saying? Oh God. What's this Ace of Pentacles in reverse? Or Ace, there's a reason I said that. It would be an Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Something that needs to be reevaluated and revoked. That is not going to be fortuitous for them. Oh my God. That is the Tower in reverse with six of. Oh God. So I'm hearing this, and this is really sad. This person knows that this person is not their soulmate. 'Cause it's Six of Cups. This is hearts. In this deck, it's hearts, but Six of Cups. That's a soulmate, soft, loving, tender connection. With the Lovers in reverse, they know that this is not that. They want it to be, but they know it's not. They know they're clouded in confusion. They know that this person is not their person, and they're holding on anyways. And I'm hearing this too, and we'll confirm it. This person knows that you are their person. With that Celtic knot energy, they know that, and they won't let go. It's like they won't let go unless they know for a fact that you're going to be there waiting, and that's so selfish. And for so many different reasons, it's not okay. What's the Sun? Because I'm like, this person is fucking dreaming if they're having Sun energy for all this. Oh God. Oh, Two of Wands in reverse. That's not bad. That's not bad. This is the only thing that's kind of saving this person. And again, I don't think they're a bad person. They're just so self-unaware. People are so scary because they genuinely believe that what they're doing is best for them and best for everybody else, and like what they're doing is right. It's like that you don't know what you don't know. Like they don't know. I don't think this person, I think they know that whoever, whatever this is not meant for them, and they won't let go. Or at least that's not the feeling I'm getting from it right now. Two of Wands in reverse, that's a reassessment and making long-term plans for the future. I think it's in the back of their mind, but like, how could you make long-term plans for the future if you haven't walked away from something that you know you need to walk away from? Something that's a Lovers in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse. Well, really what you want is a Six of Cups upright. It's clearly not. It's clearly not. Some sort of trauma bond, I think, is what I'm hearing. I want one last one for this Eight of Cups in reverse and Five of Cups, or Five of Wands in reverse, because I don't think there's harmony restored at all. I think there's avoidance happening here. Oh God. Yeah. Three of Cups in reverse, doing things alone, heavy partying, numbing out, not taking responsibility for yourself. Like, more than anything, it's doing it alone. So this person's having optimism all on their own, and it's not. And I think they know that they're the only person that's holding on here. God, this is sad. I wanted to see more movement in their energy, and this feels very introverted and like contemplative, and that's not bad. Let's get their emotion. What's this person's emotion right now? I don't know. I don't see how that's possible, but okay. Wisdom, gratitude, panic, and loyal. I think they are learning about themselves. I'll give them that, and being grateful, that's one of the most powerful frequencies. But if it's causing you to stay in a situation that you know that you shouldn't stay in, that's not gratitude, it's delusion. Like if someone makes you a sandwich and says that there's a tiny teaspoon of dog shit in it, are you going to be like, oh, thank you so much for feeding me? No, we want a dog shit free sandwich. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's this weird compromising place. And I think the panic is really like, because this person knows. So they try to sit in wisdom. They're like, oh, this is a learning experience. You know, nobody's perfect, blah, 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 blah. They're trying to be grateful. And I love those attributes. Gratitude is my favorite emotion. But then their reality kicks in and they're like, this actually does not work. And why have I been loyal to this for so long? And also, I think this is probably some sort of long-term commitment, or the person that they're connected to wants it to be. And so they feel trapped in it. It's serious. There's some sort of allegiance happening here, but it's not. That's not good. One more for this panic. I'm just like worried for this person, and obviously, whatever you're connected to, no wonder it's taking time. Friendly. So it's just the mask. Like you've got the love call, sailing boat, the coffee cup. Like you've got so many cards about the energy around you being like some sort of bouquet, you know, Celtic knot, whatever energy, but then this is what's going on in their life. Oh God. Unless I'm reading their energy completely wrong. Confidence. I didn't even notice that that came out with brave. And I think they are. I think they are trying to be confident and brave, but I just don't see how they could be with these energetic implants in their life. Hold on. I want to see how they're seeing their world and see if it lines up with, because this is what's actually going on. I want to see how they're seeing it. How is this person seeing their world right now? 9 of Cups. I don't. Okay. Listen, if someone's happy, who am I to say it's not working? But Devil in reverse twice. Whatever. Oh, God. Oh, my. 3 fucking times. 3 fucking times in every single deck. Devil in reverse. Jesus Christ. So they know. They know it's there. And they're sitting in 9 of Cups? Huh? Brother, what? Like, oh God. One more. That's how they're seeing their world. 10 of Swords. Okay, 10 and 10. End of a cycle. This 9 of Cups blowing me away because I think if this person is truly that optimistic deep down in their soul, this poor baby angel, like this beautiful, beautiful star child that's just got the radiance of 1,000 suns within them. And the way that they're able to eat that dog shit sandwich is a little terrifying because they know that the people that they have in their life and the situation that they're in is a negative karmic connection. It's an energy suck, energy vampires all around them. I have a feeling that this is some sort of long-term friendship or relationship, like romantic relationship, which is literally putting them in 10 of Swords and 10 of Coins in reverse. So it's affected their foundation, their legacy, their family, what they think their family should look like, their financial situation long-term. And it's also made them feel like they're at rock bottom. And yet they're finding great gratitude and wisdom by being friendly over the panic. This person doesn't know how to show their true emotions. They're a true masker. True, like that mask is so strong over that person. I wonder if it's ever actually come off all the way. Because it's like this person is holding loyalty up on a pedestal that it doesn't need to be on. And that's who you would, that is so like you as well. So that would have been a quality that you guys would have bonded over because I said that at the very beginning. Watch the whole thing. You guys have been so, with your justice energy, fair to a fault. This person is doing the same thing in their world to a fault. To a fault. They haven't learned this lesson yet. They need to learn this lesson. They need to get that 8 of Cups upright. It is painful. One of the 3 of Swords, 10 of Swords, 8 of Cups. Those are the 3 most painful cards for me. But 8 of Cups particularly because it's walking away from something you don't want to walk away from, but you know that you have to in order for your soul to actually evolve and not eat dog shit in the meantime. They do feel like they're at rock bottom. Like, there's nothing wrong with being optimistic, but oh my God, the rationality. Because what's going to happen, and this happens to everybody, I don't care who you are, if you're constantly not feeling your emotions and you're trying to rationalize them and intellectualize them, which I get as a trauma response, but regardless, you got to deconstruct that shit because what you do is you pile this up in the back of your mind and in your soul. And at one point, that pressure cooker is going to fucking explode. And when it does, the shockwave, who knows what it's going to take down in its path. You have to process things like this in the way that they need to be processed. I'm not saying I want this person to be upset. I'm not saying I want this person to be depressed or, on the brink of collapse emotionally. But gratitude, wisdom, friendly and loyal, and panic is the only one. They're panicking because they're not processing this. You got to process it. This person's not. And so probably because this is all falling apart, they're going to reach towards you to feel better, to get that panic out of the way. And it's going to be a lesson. You're always their crash pad. You're always that soft footing that they can just land on so they don't have to process their emotions. Don't do it. Don't do it. I can already see that this is going to be a test. It's going to be a fucking hard one because you've been waiting a long time for this to come in, but it's not. If you're really some sort of divine connection, it's not ready. This is not union frequency energy. This is a lesson. for both of you. For this person, probably more than you, more than anything. Oh God, world, end of a cycle, close it out. Let the new actually begin. Let the healing commence, or be comfortable in the old pattern forever. One last one for that Nine of Cups. The Hanged Man. Maybe this optimism is a new perspective for this person. Maybe they're trying to have a new maybe they're literally trying to tell themselves, okay, well, this is what I've learned and I want to be grateful and this was a lesson, but they're still in it. They're still in it. These people are still here in every deck. Devil in reverse has come out. Every deck when I've tapped into their energy. This should not be here. If they were, that is a great attitude to have once you are past the storm. They're still in it. You can't have, get what I'm saying? I know I'm harping on it, but it's so important for this collective to understand, because when this person comes in, and they will, because you got it in this deck, it's not time. It's not time yet. Because guess what's gonna happen, and I can see it. We'll confirm it with tarot here in a minute. This person's gonna come in, and the smallest, tiniest little thing that you say that's gonna ignite that panic within them, they're gonna displace it as you are disrupting their peace and their gratitude, and that this isn't gonna work. You guys have had cycles. Maybe this isn't the right way to go. I need to be optimistic. I need to sit in gratitude. Anything you do or say to trigger them, and you guys will trigger the shit out of each other because you're some sort of divine connection. They're gonna run again. And they're never going to actually deal with the emotion. This person needs a hermit's journey. This person needs to truly see the lessons outside the box and not just try to rush through them. Oh, God. I want to see how they're feeling about you. Like, there's a difference between bravery and naivete. I just have to say it. We want the bravery to stay, but we want it to be more grounded. We want I want to see King of Swords. I'm not going to lie. I want to see King of Swords on this row for how they're dealing with their world. Maybe I'd accept King of Cups, but not the Sun. It's just, there's a difference. It's different. How is this person feeling about you right now? How is this person feeling about collective? Introspective. And that's not bad that they're thinking about it, but one more. Vengeful. That's a huge, giant, glaring red flag. Introspection and reflective. Great. But then what's this doing here? Vengeful, bitter, resentful. They could think that you're even holding a grudge and oh, that would be bad, what I just heard. Maybe they feel like what's going down in their life is karma for the way that they treated you, especially because you got that love spell. Maybe they think you're doing magic on them, and that's why that negative karmic connection is not working out, which again, it means that they're not taking responsibility for the situation and seeing it for the way that it really is. If they think you're doing magic on them, and you better not be, but magic can't change someone's personality. It just can't. I don't care what anybody fucking says. You can't radically change the way someone's brain is fucking wired with magic, whatever. But if I was hearing and feeling in my brain that they think that the reason that whatever they're going through isn't working out is because you have shifted the energy in that dynamic. And that's for one thing, not possible. Two, it's a really negative way to be looking at you. I don't like that, which again, just tells me this person's too immature for you guys to actually come back into harmony at some point. There's so many lessons that need to happen before that's actually possible. One more for that vengeful. Like it's also really confirms what I was just saying. Love. So they think you fucked up their love life for them. They think that you've put a curse on them because you've been holding a grudge and you hate them. It's really, really sad. And it's also, again, a giant glaring red flag, because if that's what this person thinks about when they think about you, it's like the type of judgment where they're saying that they think that you are you're that small of a person that you would do that to them. And that's not love. I'll tell you that. I'm also hearing too, though, that this person could really hate how much they love you, which is not good. They hate that their mind always drifts back to you. They hate that they're in this reflection and introspection when it comes to you. They don't want to think about you. It's avoidance. It's avoidance on so many different levels. You guys should never accept this behavior. But again, and I'm being called to say this, what we project out is what we call in. So what area of your life are you avoiding things? Because if you're calling this in right now, it's a lesson of avoidance for you personally and to not accept this behavior. Get what I'm saying? I really don't like that. That's making me not even want to tap into their intentions, because it's like, what's the fucking point? This person isn't going to approach you in a genuine way. And you deserve more than someone who hates that they love you, or thinks that you're petty enough to do magic on them so that they can't be happy. And if you are the type of person who's done that, I don't think this collective has, but for anybody else who's watching, you need to get right with yourself if you think that it's one, your place, or two, good karma in any way to meddle in somebody else's energy to that extent. Meddling in anybody's energy at all, magic aside, is not a good idea, and you get karmic baggage for that. But breaking two people up, or trying to, or thinking that you can, is so immature, and it really, the type of codependency and manipulation that would have to come over you to do something like that is a huge red flag that you need to deconstruct, and it's absolutely not okay, and you will pay for it in every lifetime until you stop. Just have to say that, because it's not, like, I'm not saying it's true for this collective, but I just felt called to say that, because people think magic is all about getting what you want, and couldn't be further from the fucking truth. A true alchemist doesn't do things solely for personal gain. I just want one more for that. How they're feeling about you. Stress. Look at the red. Their root. I think they go back and forth between the two deviations in my mind. It's not good, and I really don't like it. It's putting a nasty taste in my mouth. One more for this introspection, and we'll get their intention when they come through. Guilt. What did I fucking say? They feel so, like, they're so confused as to why they're still thinking about you. And you are too, in an odd way. But there isn't that vengeful. I'm seeing that. And love again on the bottom. I know my emotion cards aren't in reverse, but it is in reverse. The guilt that they're feeling for spending any time thinking about this, or the fact that you still come across their mind while they're trying to be this ray of sunshine in their life, in something that's a negative karmic. They're refusing to learn karmic lessons. I'm surprised that Judgment in reverse didn't come out, because that's what they're doing. They're refusing to learn a lesson here. Refusing. Because they are too traumatized, or too immature, or too naive, or too whatever to actually see the lesson. And that's, again, it's sad, but it's not something you should align with. Literally ever. Soul tie, soul connection, divine, red thread, twin flame or not, doesn't matter. Person doesn't think the world of you the way someone should. Okay, let's just get very quickly. I just want 3. What's their intention right now? Critical juncture. Well, yeah, they are in the soul, if nothing else. Sorry. Libra. And I think I said something about Libra energy at the very beginning. Watch the whole thing. Taking a big leap of faith, but I know now I have control of my life. No one is holding me captive, and no one is controlling my circumstances. I recognize the power of my free will, and I now choose to be happy. They're choosing to be happy, but while staying in the situation that they're staying in. Unless I'm reading it totally wrong. I'm not 100% right all of the time, but I just don't feel with that vengeful emotion. They're choosing to be happy for all the wrong reasons. They're choosing to be happy so they don't have to do internal work. Everything I've said, I know as if I acted, I couldn't make up my mind about our relationship, but it was really because I was scared of hurting you and you hurting me. And then fall. So that could be a memory, September to December. One more for that. I don't like this. A soulmate. So that could have been when they realized it. And yet there's still that negative energy in their life. And it came out in 4 decks. 5 decks. I'm sorry. 5 decks. There's still someone else in the middle. Something else in the middle. Some sort of energy vampire. If they... Anyways. I'm like losing all of my patience with this person. I'm not gonna lie. Because here's the thing, if someone can't make up their mind about you, that obviously is a reflection of them, right? That's a reflection of them not taking control of their life. But at the same time, what is it going to do to you guys? And you guys choose what you allow, right? If you allow this back in your life so that you can feel used and it stresses you out and you're the other woman, the other man, the other person in this person's life, and they never disconnect from those things, you're never going to be able to trust them, then what is the point in having someone like this in your life? Twin flame or not, soulmate or not, throw the label all the way the fuck out. What is the point of having someone like this in your life who cannot commit to seeing things the way that they actually are and morphs their reality to just be optimistic? What's the point? You're never going to feel safe and you're never going to feel like you can trust this person because you probably hadn't in the past at all. And I'm not saying you're a perfect little angel, but this person struggles with making solid decisions that would actually improve their life long term because in the short term, they just want to be comfortable. And it's making them vengeful with that love over it. I'm not sure I would ever accept this back in my life. I'm not going to lie. Someone who hates that they love you, it's making me so sad and angry to think that someone would to think that people can feel that way about someone and then think that that person is their soulmate. You don't hate someone that you love. This person doesn't appreciate you at all. And whatever's about to come to your table, that's probably going to be super obvious. So remember that. You might have to come back to this reading. Don't forget it. Because in the moment that someone finally does come back, and maybe they're even nicer than they were before, maybe they're saying all the right things, but the energy doesn't lie. We'll get what. Oh, sign. All right. Oh, I don't even want to get any more of their intention because I just have such a sour taste in my mouth. What's that critical juncture? Oh, divine masculine energy. So it's come on twice. Like it's kind of showing up in every deck. I just cannot see how, unless I was reading their energy wrong. I don't think I am, but let's just see. Let's just get source's opinion because now I can't tell because I'm feeling so irritated with that vengeful emotion. Anyways. All right, source. When this approaches this collective, what's it going to look like? What is the energy approaching this collective from a person on their mind? I'm just keep hearing it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. This is so yucky, guys. It's a lesson. It's a lesson for you. It's a lesson for you to not hold on to the idealism of someone and someone's potential. Again, I don't think this person's a bad person. You guys are clearly some sort of really strong soul bond, and this person knows it. But Four of Coins upright, Knight of Wands in reverse, another card about holding a grudge. Volatile, arrogant, hasty, jealous. And then Queen of Swords in reverse. Oh, she's the worst queen in reverse. She's the worst because she's pessimistic and she's harsh and she's calculating. But she does all of this bullshit in her mind to validate what she thinks she's seeing. And it clouds her judgment. She's so easily scattered. And this card can also be a card about gossip. So other people's opinions. And there's third-party energy all over this dynamic right now. So the way that this person's going to approach you is going to be very secretive. Four of Coins upright, the mask. It's going to be fully up. You're not even going to need to do anything to trigger it. They're going to approach you masked. They're going to approach you with the anticipation that you're going to shut them down or, that there's a scarcity mindset here. They're a creature of habit. Well, deep down, this person is telling themselves a negative narrative about you and about how they feel about you. They're holding a grudge here, whether they know it or not. I want one more for that. Four Wands upright is usually such a beautiful card and can be, I've dedicated a card about literal marriage and a wedding. But because of the way this person is coming in, it can just be about a love of returning. I think it's just source confirming that that is who that energy is. And I think they are not happy with their life and they are blaming you subconsciously or otherwise. What's the advice of this collective? I hate this. Full moon. Emotional awareness. Move on. Cycle completion. Perfect. It's going to hurt like a bitch, but you need to close this one out. I wouldn't even be acknowledging this. I don't think there's anything you could or should be saying, but let's get one more. This is, again, like you need to finish this cycle and move on. Could literally come in on the full moon. Yeah, have a new perspective. It's going to be an aha moment. The way this person is going to approach you, you should see immediately that the energy is not right and have have an epiphany in that moment, and don't go back to the old way of thinking, oh, if I don't say this, what if I say this? Blah, 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 blah. If you're having to worry about what you're saying in a moment of spontaneity, then that is a clear indication that you are not in a space to be dealing with someone, and that person should not be someone you're interacting with. If you're having to pick the perfect word so that this person doesn't get triggered and run again, they are not your person. Not right now, at least, divine connection or not. Anybody who's a part of that cycle or that bond needs to understand that it's on your timeline forever. Do not accept less than what you deserve, because it's not going to come in the right way until you close it out for good. You have to believe in your soul it's done. And I think the universe is going to show the way this person's going to come in. It's clearly being cosmically guided, especially with the full moon being the advice. This person is coming in because the universe and the divine are perpetuating and putting together the moment of cycle completion, not union. I have to be so clear. Move on. See that this person doesn't align with you emotionally. Give them the fire that they made you walk through time and time and time again. Just let go of it. Let go of the expectation of whatever this is supposed to be in your mind, and trust that if it is meant to come back in, it will. You don't want someone who hates that they love you. That is truly breaking my heart. I'm trying really hard not to think about it because it's going to bring me to tears. Nobody deserves to be treated like a burden. And that's what that person is feeling right now towards you. That the love they have vengefulness over it. They feel hurt because of it. Nobody deserves to be treated like they're a burden in that way. That is so fucking sad. I cannot keep thinking about it. It's really bringing me down. All right, outcome. Oh. Who cares? You are going to feel like this is a missed opportunity. It's fucking not. You need to stand in King of Coins energy. He's my favorite, ride or die. And I said that about you at the very beginning. Doesn't matter if you're feminine or masculine presenting. You need to have the strongest sense of self-worth on the fucking planet. Know exactly what you deserve. King of Coins would never in a million billion years accept this at his table, because he knows exactly what him and his kingdom deserve, which is nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. He works day after day after day to ground his kingdom. He doesn't work day after day to get someone to come in and be petulant and vengeful and hold a grudge and be volatile. And he's not volatile in return. He just doesn't align with it. He's very neutral when it comes to that. He's so dependable and successful and abundant and secure and stable. What is coming towards you is the opposite of all of those things. And again, it's going to feel like a missed opportunity because you've been waiting for this for so long. So what? Walk through that emotion and do not accept less than what you deserve, or repeat a cycle here. I can't imagine how that would get worse, that emotion. I'm going to be honest. I can't imagine how it would get worse. Other than turning, I don't even want to speak anything into existence. It's not good. It's pretty bad, guys. It's not me just being hyperbolic. Like, do not accept this. Last one for outcome. 10 of Wands, lay your burdens down, readjust, get your priorities straight. I think this is going to be a true moment of detachment for you. In the moment, it's going to hurt like hell. But then after that, you're going to be like, what the fuck was I thinking? Good. Return that fucking fire to them. Prioritize. Establish a clear vision. Magician in reverse. One more. Just one last one for outcome. Yeah. You need this card. This Knight of Coins is about being connected to nature, but there's so many coins in your energy, and there's wands and swords in their energy, and cups. There's not a lot of cups in your energy. You're not in alignment. It doesn't matter. Let this fucking bullshit go. It's getting in the way of your pentacle path. This could be a huge abundant block for you, and you not even realize it. So once you finally cut it, those floodgates could literally fucking open. But you need to be practical. You've been working so fucking hard on yourself and been responsible, and you need to be protective over yourself and what you've been putting together more than anything, and understand that your persistence and your stubbornness towards this idea was just that. And just look at it as a lesson for self that you can dedicate to something and let it go. Lay your burdens down. You can't change the outcome here. You just need to move on. 10 of Swords on the bottom. Oh, guys, this is going to be a rough one again. Just truly, if you have to come back to it and watch it again, watch it as many times. Vengeful over love. You should never. When this person comes in and you see that, you should be closing this for all of eternity. Like, the divine should have to move heaven and earth inside this person's soul in order for them to come back to you. And that's what an awakening does. It really does. If you guys are really divines, they need to actually go through that. Because you went through it all by yourself. And you're not hating this person for how much you love them. You're frustrated with things not landing, but you're not hating them. Anyways, what angel is watching over you? Angel of contemplation raises vibration, emotional and spiritual growth, meditation, understanding, and confidence. I provide insight to aid spiritual growth and help you find words to accurately express feelings, emotions, and ideas. Tanzanite, now moment, meditate. I don't think you should be responding to this person, but if you feel like you need to, just be as 100% authentic in the moment as you can be. If you're having to go to the notes app or write it down or take a minute, then that's not you being authentic and is a sign from your body that you don't need to respond. If you can't think of something in the moment of getting that sort of communication, like, go with your gut in that moment. Your gut is like 2-3 seconds max. If you're pausing and having to be like, ooh, do I say that? Then that is an indication not to say anything, because you can't then come from a place of authenticity if you're worried about the reaction. Do you get what I'm saying? Think about that. I think you're going to go to say something and you're going to be like, ooh, no. Say nothing. Say nothing. This person left you out in the cold. They need to know what that feels like. Anyways. Last one. Oh. 333. Angels all around you. And there were so many threes that came out in this reading too. Like 3 of Cups, 3 of Coins. They were all over. But nurture the mind, body, and spiritual connection. I say 333 is a sign that your ancestors, or like, you're always supported, because it's that communal energy that number 3 embodies. But your angels are always asking you to balance yourself. What area of your life feels out of alignment? Get in a meditative practice today, embark on a workout routine, or finally start that vision board you've been procrastinating on. Your angels want you to look at all areas of your life that are not fully rounded out and self-correct. Beautiful. This collective, please just protect yourself. Whatever you do, it's your life. But if you are not as shaken by seeing that emotion as I am, then that would also be another point of self-reflection. Do you know what I'm saying? So good luck.